Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm still waiting for my friends to come and join me here in this conversation this evening. I hope and believe that all of you are doing fine. Let me take this opportunity to say hi to the following. We have Gypsy Connor. He's saying hi to all of us. I hope you are doing good. I'm also seeing Musimamo Abarigani. Hello, good year and team. How are you doing? Laban Misiani is saying, what is Laban Misiani saying here? Laban Misiani saying, Tutam is our business. Thank you so much for your comment. We also have Goody. I hope you are doing fine. That's okay. Okay, thank you so much once again. I hope all of you are doing fine. This is Brother Benson, and we are here to discuss the issues and politics of the day. The news reaching us in our desk is quite much interesting. Is about we are going to Homa Bay County, where the deputy governor for Homa Bay, that is the deputy governor of Homa Bay, has resigned from. The position. I don't know what is happening. And he said after consultation with his team and the people, he decided to to resign as deputy governor for Mabay. To remind you, the position for deputy governor was brokered, especially between the governor for Homa Bay and deputy governor. Remember when they were going to election, because they were looking for the winning formula. So by Oyugi Magwanga, given the position of the deputy governor, was a good step, especially to make sure that they win the gubernatorial race, especially in Homa Bay. Remember, you had people like Kidero who were creating so much competition to they were competing against Wanga, and the results were showing that without the Oyugi Magwanga faction, it could have not been very, very easy for Gladys Wanga or the ODM to win the governorship of Homa Bay. But for now, Magwanga has decided to resign, and this is coming as a result. Remember, when we were having the Kasipul Kabondo by-election, where Magwanga decided to support Aroko Good Life, and from there they started to have misunderstanding with Governor Wanga to an extent whereby he accused Governor Wanga of locking down his office. So he has decided to resign and now to start doing politics and say that, okay, he's getting back his seat. So that is what is happening. Another thing that also is trending here, let me just give you what is trending right now so that we can um, get top of it. About Orengo also is here. There was a by-election that was taking place in the country, and UDA sweep across all the four by-elections that were taking place. Kenyan ruling party United Alliance secured victory in four by-election on February 26, filling parliamentary and county assembly seats in Isiolo, Embu, Kakamega counties. Key winners include Toby Muhammad Toby in Isiolo South, Elfas Laha in Western Kabras Ward, Patterson Njiru in Muminji Ward, and Duncan Muritia Nyaga in Ivoveri Ward. Polling stayed mostly peaceful despite minor tension, like brief exchange involving opposition leader Justin Muturi over voting ink, with the UDA leaders hailing the results as a proof of strong grassroots support ahead of 2027. So UDA has won all the by-election that were taking place on the 26th of today. This is now the news. Magwanga resigned Thursday, blaming Governor Wanga for deliberate frustration, like withdrawing his vehicle and locking his office since December 2025, which prevented him from doing his job. The rift began during the November 2025 Kasipul by-election, when he backed different candidates than than Wanga, leading her to strip his agriculture role and huge disloyal officials to quit. His plans to challenge her for governor in 2027, leaving his commitment to Homa Bay residents intact while the county assembly seeks a replacement. That is a very, we are going to see how things are going to turn out. But like, this is something that we need to discuss, and on how the politicians, especially when you look at Wanga, Gladys Wanga, dealing with the deputy president, if you don't agree with them, so they have to use the powers that they have to make sure that they frustrate you. And I can remember this one also happened to, remember Oduol was in, Oduol, the one Oduol had in Siaya, but right now Orengo seems not to be singing the tune of uh, the government. So what might happen is that they might decide to impeach Orengo. We're seeing those rumors and we are waiting for that. And I hope Magwanga now is going to make sure that he consolidate and start to campaign against Wanga. I don't know how that one will end. The first, some people are reporting, the first marriage between Gladys Wanga and her deputy, Oyugi Magwanga, has come to an end. Homa Bay politics will be something to pay attention to. I really agree about that. People did see this one coming, but that is something that we will be looking into attention. And we were looking at what the party that Magwanga might be vying on, because like, UDA also is here. We will also watch how it will happen. Now, when you come to the trending tab, we have Justin Muturi is trending. They were having election. His candidate has been defeated in the by-election that has just taken place. We just talked about it, and yeah, so that is something that is there. We also have Babu and Sifuna also are trending tab number 2. Sifuna is using, this is somebody from the TikTok. Sifuna is using what Babu built and what Winnie owns to push for Nairobi governor. That's exactly why Winnie and Babu are uncomfortable working directly to undermine him before it becomes official. Uh, hey, okay, it seems that there's a misunderstanding from the reporting, maybe between Sifuna and Babu, which we don't know whether it is true or it's just a propaganda. Okay, let me also look what is happening. Or Eldoret also is trending. I don't know why. More University Eldoret is grieving the heartbreaking loss of Dixon Mutinda, a second-year BBM student in the School of Business and Economics. It is alleged that he committed and left a note that read that a final message to those I love, care. I'm writing this, I'm quoting the letter of the young man. I'm writing this because I have reached a point where I can no longer keep fighting. I want you to know I gave every bit of my heart that I had. I tried to stay. I tried to find a way through the dark, and I tried to be the person you needed me to be. But I am tired. I feel my life slipping away. And as much as I want to hold on for you, I feel like I'm being pulled somewhere else. I feel like there is nothing left for me to do and no more strength left to give. Please forgive me. Please don't blame yourself or wonder what you could do, have done differently. You gave me love, and that love was the only thing that kept me here this long. My departure isn't a reflection of how much I loved you. It is only a reflection how much I am hurting. I'm also sorry to leave you with this sorrow. If I could have stayed without this pain, I would have hoped one day when you think of me, the weight of this goodbye is replaced by the memory of the times that we had together. I'm letting go now because I have to. I'm also sorry with all my love. My deepest regret, Dixon Mwenda. This is something that needs to be discussed, especially when it comes to mental, especially to what people are going through. It is a major discussion point that should be discussed, especially for a young person just decide to write a letter to say goodbye. There must be a reason behind it, and this for this to reach this point, like you could also, I don't know whether there was people who were monitoring his account, especially people who are very close to him, because sometimes when this starts to manifest, it usually manifests from the social um social media, you could see what they're posting. That one will give you information of what is going on, and you can reach. There are also red flags. What usually happens that somebody will start withdrawing from society. He will not get so much in contact with the people, or he will not be in the gathering. So if you're a friend to that person, you can clearly note that. And I think also with the studies and what some of our parents are going through, some of the students and do not have that energy to keep on going through, knowing very well what is happening back at home, especially. So we are very, very, very sorry for the loss to the family. And as comrades, sometimes try to reach out to the people, your comrade friends who are your friends. I mean, try to find out how they're doing, and if there's a problem that can be sorted out. We call it to become proactive. And that is what is there. Makamu wa Makamu, a political surrogate, was yesterday. We talked about his conduct, especially, and some of the derogatory statement he made about James Orengo, Babu Owino, and Sifuna, especially. It's something that also Makobura, we will weigh our thoughts. He was sacked with immediate effect from the Xia County government, and he was given some days to give reason why um, um, he should not be terminated. So the guy was asking help. What did school do? Yes, yes. So because if he was asking for help, because like majority of times, this is something that you will agree with me. Before somebody reaches that moment, there must be some indicators that are showing they are showing that somebody needs help. But sometimes we tend to ignore, or the school tend to ignore. So, and this is a point whereby now I say that now I cannot handle this one no more. So I need to go. So sad to the family, and Okay, let's also see what is trending again. What is it trending? Let me get something that is trending also, so that we can know who. Let me go to the trending tab and I see what is it that is. Hmm. There's also a feud that took place between Babu Owino and Esther Passaris. Makobura, can you please share the link for me? Esther Passaris and Babu Owino, back and forth. So something that we would want to talk about, especially if Makobura comes, we want to at least share our thoughts, especially for what the CIA surrogate, that is surrogate for CIA, Makamu wa Makamu, said about James Orengo, Sifuna, and about especially ridiculing where they are talking about what they should do, especially based on where they've married. And this is something that we've always discussed here, especially. And we want to be straight here. We know very well that James Orengo, Honorable James Orengo and Babu Owino have married from the mountain. Yeah. And some of the remarks, that's especially that were made by Makamu about where Orengo and Babu have married and all that he said in public. What was so surprising, Makobura, that the leaders who were there did not condemn it and they were laughing. That was what was surprising. Yeah. And remember that where Orengo and Babu have married, that is the place, the broad base, the president that they're supporting, the president, William Ruto, that they're supporting, is also trying to hunt vote from those places. So where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? If the president is working with everybody, including people from the mountain, is trying his level best to work with those. But on the other side, there's a way in which you classify them. Where do you draw the line? And what is it that when it comes to politics, especially, you make that agenda to discuss somebody marital status, you run away from politics. How does that one make sure that the challenges that the people are facing are solved? Makobura, what do you think about that?
Okay, thank you so much. And allow me first to take this opportunity to just say hi to you. Not forgetting our good friend Simamo over here. And again, at the comment section, I can see a good friend, Good dear. Thank you so much, Good dear, for finding time to join us. I can also see Laban. Thank you so much, Laban, for also finding time to join us. And everyone else who is watching, we really appreciate. Just a reminder that over here we do say that your opinion counts. I want to take this opportunity to give my views first on the matter of, on the statements that were made by Makamu. I don't know what, let me call him a political surrogate. I can say that this guy, not once but several times, has always abused people, especially those leaders who are not on their side. And to me, it's a serious lack of respect to leaders and even to the society itself, and not just society, to people, the entire people of Kenya, because this is not the first time that this guy is trending. He's been trending and not on the good sides. Most of the times, he's been trending on the bad side, having used words which are not right, having accused people of things which are neither here nor there. And this is how he survives politically. I understand that he's on a payroll of quite a number of members of parliament and, of course, some governors as well. So he's being used to propel the agendas of some certain members of parliament. And, of course, their interest is what really is the interest of those people that are paying him, are what really matters to him. But it does not really care about, you know, the negative impact of his statement and, of course, his views. It is
Mhm.
so immature of him. It is so demeaning that he's been demeaning quite a number of people, both starting from the gender or people having a different political view. And it is so inhumane, let me put it that way, for a politician to come out and start making words which are not really right, and especially words which are not uniting, words which are actually causing a lot of coexistence, problems of coexistence amongst the people of Kenya. Kenyans have suffered so many problems caused by the issue of tribalism. If James Orengo, Babu Owino, and some other Luo politicians or some other leaders have married from the other side or from other tribes, it is a good thing, because the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya do not really in any way make that something illegal. Actually, it encourages intermingling with amongst people from different regions. And again, it is the easiest way of people coming together to come to understand that they are all Kenyans, they are all Africans, and that they are all human beings. That
Yeah.
is the right way to go. When you see a leader, a politician who is supposed to unite the people, trying to put that or to bring that matter of people marrying from other regions as if it is a crime, then I can categorically tell you here that those particular leaders are the problems. Those particular leaders are the ones who are making the people and the society to suffer a lot. I want to say that it was so bad that I didn't see any leader, even though the words that he used, most of them were demeaning to the women. It is so unfortunate that the leaders, ODM leaders, women who are there, did not stand up to rebuke him or to tell him that this is not right. But what we saw, they were clapping as if the comments of this particular politician were not, in one way or the other, directed to them. But this was an abuse to the gender, the female gender in the society. And those are some of the things that we have to come out and point out, and to remind them that we are not going to entertain this kind of culture, this kind of behavior. It is wrong, it is not nice,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to be called out.
All
It
right.
is so unfair that we have leaders who are paying this particular gentleman to abuse. Let me actually, that is what is being paid to do, to abuse others. It is wrong. We need to love and respect each other. If you see others are getting married from other regions or other tribes, it's a good thing. We need to encourage it. That is the best way of uniting. That is the best way of coming to understand. And of course, appreciating the fact that as much as you're coming from different regions, you've been brought up under a different circumstances, you know, it's the best way of uniting, getting to be together.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I want to rebuke those statements that were made by this political surrogate in front of Luo leaders. Actually, they're supposed to come out, those every leader who was there, to rebuke that. If they don't do that, then I can tell you that the people of Kenya themselves are fully aware
Mm-hmm.
of their plans
Mm-hmm.
and the many times that bad things are done before them and they don't come out to rebuke. It
All
is
right.
not strange. We had
Mm.
the same. I don't know if you remember the former member of parliament from Kisumu Central as well. He did give a threatening message to the political class that are on the opposition side. And
Mm-hmm.
he said that should those any politician who is against the government come to Kisumu, then they will regret having gotten to Kisumu. Kwani does Kisumu belong to this gentleman who is not, truth be told, the constitution of the Republic of Kenya is very nice and it welcomes everybody.
Yeah.
And that is why even as a Kenyan, I'm allowed to go stand in any constituency in any part of the republic. And based on that, the constitution has given that man, I mean, that leeway. And that is why we're even seeing the likes of Oda having opportunity to be members of parliament within Kisumu,
Mm-hmm.
even though is coming from from Siaya. These are some of the things that we have to appreciate, that the constitution is there and it addresses these kind of things. So if the constitution benefits you as this side, then you have to appreciate the other side when it is benefiting some other people. We have to unite and make remarks which are uniting, remarks which are benefiting the people of Kenya, and more so the citizens, because that is the biggest thing that we are supposed to do as leaders. That would be my take.
All right. Thank you so much, Makobura. Before I invite in our good friend here, Musimamo, this is another good news, or I would say bad news. It depends from where you are. ODM UDA packed March 27th, 7th headache. Beseech ODM Secretary Edwin Sifuna has received a further reprieve after the political party's dispute tribunal extended conservatory orders barring his removal from office. Siaya Governor James Orengo sensationally claimed that the ODM UDMOU lapses on 7th March. So that is also something that we will be discussing on the 7th March. What is going to be the way forward, especially for the UDA and ODM, the pact? Remember the 10-point agenda that was signed between the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga and President William Ruto, and has it been actualized? The people who are saying, or from the look of things, nothing has really taken off. Especially people are still saying that there's an abduction going on, the devolution, talking about devolution and compensation and all that. So there's so many questions that are still being asked on that park. Hey, Musimama Barigani.
Salama ndugu yangu, hali yako?
Kwema,
Unanipata?
vizuri sana. We
Sini mimi.
uko na maoni gani kusema kulingana na matamshi ambayo yalitolewa na yule jamaa ambaye aliwachishwa kazi kutoka Siaya, sana sana kuhusiana na kukejeli na kusema maneno ambayo haina heshima kwa maviongozi, kwa sababu wametoa uchumba ama wameoa katika familia ambayo si yao?
Kaka, mimi hata siendi mbali. Nafikiri ndugu yangu hapa, kwanza pokea zangu Mark, lakini kule upande wa pili kuna ndugu yangu wa mbavuni Gudia na wale wengine wako kule kina Laban. Pia Laban apande hapa naye pia tuchangamke kidogo kwenye show. Najua akiwa hapa tuna maswali ya kumuuliza, lakini kubwa ni kwamba sitaweza kuongezea pale ambapo ndugu yangu Mark ameweza kunena. Mimi tunalaani vikali kauli kama hizi, kwa sababu demokrasia ndiyo ambayo ni mwongozo wetu haswa kama taifa, na kama demokrasia inamaanisha kwamba uhuru wa kuweza kujieleza upo, so viongozi wana haki ya kuingia popote pale katika taifa kuhakikisha kwamba wanaeleza sera zao na kile ambacho wanaona kwamba kwao ni sahihi, lakini vile vile pia kukana mwananchi na kumsikiza ili kumwelewa swa mapendekezo yake ni yapi. So haya ya kuzuliwa mahali kwamba mkija mahali mtajua hamjui, wote ni uoga na ni kushindwa. Sasa ni ile kwamba umeona kwamba umeshindwa, sasa unatafuta kila njia ya kuweza kuona kwamba labda pengine utaweza kutisha, lakini utofauti uko hapa ni kati ya mwananchi na viongozi. So wale wanafungamana upande huu wanakuwa na kazi ngumu kueleweka haswa kwa mwananchi, lakini wale ambao wanatangamana na wananchi na kukaa katika mawazo ya wananchi, basi wanaona faraja sasa hivi kwa kuweza kushabikiwa na kupewa muhemko. So katika hii hadi yule ambaye hana sera kama huyu ndugu yangu ambaye ama huyu kiongozi ambaye ameweza kuweka hii mipaka, basi inakuwa ni ngumu. Kwa hiyo ni uchungu huo, mtoto ashazaliwa tayari, kwa hivyo apambane hali yake, lakini vile vile vyombo ambavyo vinahusika vifanye haswa jukumu lake. Si yale yamezungumzwa na spika leo kuhusiana na matamshi ya viongozi, wakakejeli ya Gachagua wakati kuna haya ya huyu kiongozi wameyafumbia macho. So unakuta kwamba sometimes unapata kichefuchefu, kwa sababu spika leo haswa utangulizi wake kwanza alizungumza vikali kuhusiana na matamshi aliyonenwa na Gachagua, Mheshimiwa Gachagua akiwa Kisii.
Nakupata
kwa siku najiuliza tu kwa position asikuwe hatua, na ni kiongozi ambaye ameona kamba Kisumu ni yake yeye peke yake, kwa hivyo anaweza amua nani wakuja nani asije, na ni kinyume cha na ni kinyume haswa, wala ni mapungufu haswa katika kiongozi haswa. Si kiongozi kwamba mwenye tija anaweza zungumza mambo kama haya. Labda nitaongezea hapo.
Okay. Asante sana ndugu yangu kwa maoni yako. Umenena jambo bado unaongea, lakini bado
mkataba imewadia tarehe 7 si mbali tena ndio utakuwa mwisho wa mkataba huu. Sasa sijui hapa ndo kuna kizungumkuti. Sijui sasa ODM itafuata haya ya Orengo ama watafuta na tulishapita hapo. Kwa hivyo sasa hivi ni wakati wa kufanya mahojiano na majadiliano ya vyama ambavyo vyama ambavyo tunawiana haswa kimawazo kama vile UDA. Sasa sijui wako katika mazungumzo watafuata hili la mkataba kwamba bwana umefika hapa. Je, yapi umeweza kuyafanikisha, yapi hujaweza kuyafanikisha? Na kama kutakuwa hakuna, basi kutakuwa hakuna haja tena muungano, kwa sababu Orengo ameweka wazi kwamba hakuna serikali hiyo hata kidogo. Kwa hiyo ni makubaliano wamewekana mpaka atafika mwisho, na mwisho wa siku tuone ODM itakuja pamoja ama itaendelea kugawika hivi kwa chungwa liloiva na chungwa ambalo sijui, ama chungwa nusu, tutaona kwa sababu tuko hapa. But that's my take kwamba wameshakumbushwa na huyu mzee kuhusiana na mkataba, na Kenya wameelewa kwamba kumbe mkataba mwisho ulikuwa ni tarehe 7 tu. Sasa haya mengine tuache wakati sana.
Okay, asante sana ndugu yangu kwa maoni yako. Miguda, how are you doing, sir?
Hello, I'm good. I'm doing good. If you can
Okay. We can get
confirm if you can hear me.
you are very we can get you clearly. You are
Okay, I'm
audible.
saying
So
I'm good. I'm doing good. I thank God. I'm all good.
okay.
Just know from you people.
All right, thank you so much. We were just weighing our thoughts, especially before we go into the main discussion of today. The remarks that were made by Makamu, especially to James Orengo, Edwin Sifuna, in which it was demeaning to their wives and also from the place they've married. But what was surprising, the leaders who were there, including the ODM chair, did not even in a second try to defend these women and derogatory statements that were being made, and they were laughing. That notwithstanding, also the acting, or according to the acting Omanyo, also what she said about Omanyo, and Omanyo was enjoying what he was saying, but we are seeing all these women league and nobody is talking about it. What could that one mean?
First, I have to let me pass my greetings to our viewers and welcome them to the show. The remarks done by so-called Makam. Actually, today is when I went to do my reviews on internet. I've been away, but I try to catch up everything that has happened like a week ago. I was able to get what he said and also feedback from the people. When you read the feedback or the messages, everybody is against him, including the people whom he supported. And also you saw the MC by that time, Adunya, try to cut the speech short, because to me, that is not what should come from the mouth of the leader, first. Secondly, that's not how you want to address the people you want to lead. And that is also, I can just state it's an ignorance. The guy is ignorant. He is not, I don't know how to describe him. He thought that politics is only meant for him and politics is meant for certain region. So in terms of divergent views, it can lead to such utterances. When he called out the leaders of that caliber, that because of their relationship, that is why they made that decision. We have even people who are related to such people. Anyway, you understand the person who his stature. I don't want to discuss more about him. It's not worth discussion.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Miguda, for that. But like, I think, yes, Ayaga, we thank you so much. We just got that news. UDA is winning all the seats in Mbeere North and Isiolo plus West Kabras. Akina msimamo wataambia watu nini? Asante sana kwa maoni yako. Inamaanisha kuwa UDA bado ni chama ambacho labda kinapendwa ama nini kitafanyika? Inabidi hata wakina Sifuna na wengine wafanye kazi ya ziada. Okay, gentlemen, thank you so much, Mr. Makobura and Miguda. I know there's so much that is happening in the political field, but we want to do a recap inside the 3-day tour of United Opposition in the Kisii region. What does it mean politically? Especially you look at the Kisii. For quite some time, Kisii has always voted ODM, especially majority of members of parliament from Kisii. They are ODM legislatures. And the last 3 days, we've seen Matiangi with the United Opposition members. They were in Kisii. The meeting was very successful because we see there are so many people turn out for the meeting. The messaging, the mobilization, and everything seems was done and well planned. So what does this one mean, especially for the United Opposition? That's where we are looking at. And what does it mean to Simba Arati? Because Onyonka had declared his ambition to go for Kisii governor. So, and what is going to happen? To begin with, maybe my take is something that I picked from it. It was that Rigathi Gachagua was in attendance. And remember, he was in attendance, and Matiangi came with the Jubilee Party. It was like an introduction for the Jubilee Party, especially in Kisii, because when Matiangi was given the mandate to be the deputy party leader, people really talked about how could Matiangi go with the Jubilee Party. How could Matiangi go with the Jubilee Party? He would have formed his political party not to go with the Jubilee. But when you see the reception, what happened? It means the Obogusi region are really, really supporting Matiangi. That is something that I see. Something also, what happened is that Matiangi was installed as the spokesperson and also the elder of Obogusi. And remember, Simba Arati has always been that person. So what happens in that situation whereby Simba Arati is not Matiangi is installed as the area spokesperson and the community spokesperson. What does that one mean to Simba Arati? So those are the areas that we want to discuss. Mr. Can you come to the YouTube channel? You will get the link, please. Or Makubura, you can do it on Facebook. Mr. Try YouTube channel. Just come to Brother Benson YouTube channel, then you will get the link, please, sir. So that is where
it is not possible. It does not allow me to share on the Facebook side. So let him come to the YouTube side and he'll see the link. We've shared it several times.
Yeah, I'm also seeing on my side the Facebook is inactive, but I will check on it. Okay, so that is what we want to look at. And to start with, maybe I would start with Makubura, because like I want to leave you to run the show for a while if I'm attending something. Makubura, what is your overview on the 3-day tour of Matiangi with other United Opposition leaders?
Politically, it was a success, and I would say it was a serious political success for them who had the opportunity to move around with Matiangi as their leader. Of course, assisted by Kalonzo Musyoka, Eugene Wamalwa. I saw Eugene Wamalwa. I saw Rigathi Gachagua, amongst others, because if I tried looking at the engagement that they had with the people, it was an active engagement with the people, and of course, the response of the people was I can say it was a good reception, and of course, with the consistency on that, there are probabilities that they will get quite a number of good following. Because as things stand, if you ask me, I can say that the government has not done well in terms of how they've handled quite a number of things, matters to do with the economy, matters to do with employment. The economy of the Republic of Kenya, any Kenyan in the Republic are not really happy, because the expenses of their daily lives, basic needs, are on another level. This is something that you cannot really say, can easily make somebody to give anybody who is currently in power a second chance. So if there is some consistency on the opposition side, I can tell you there is going to be a good reception to me on the opposition if they continue, with the message that they're sending the people. Because in Kisii tour, it was a good reception, and of course, a serious challenge to the ODM and of course the government, because remember, currently there is a faction of ODM that is in support of government, and Simba Arati, who is the governor of Kisii, is also part of that, let me say, government. But with Matiangi coming as an opposition, and the good reception together with his team was a clear sign that the people of Kisii are not really happy with how the government has handled or performed in matters of development, of course, matters of economy, amongst others. If you followed the comments by the leaders, they partly touched the serious issues affecting the entire Republic of Kenya, They also touched the most important thing that the people of Kenya have always been talking about. And to me, those are part of the things that the people of Kenya wants to hear. If you've been following keenly what the government has always been saying, especially the president and his team, they've been telling the people, oh, you know, we built this, we built this, we built the stadium, we built the houses. But those houses, there is nothing really tangible that can assist Kenyans directly through those houses which are being built. So the likes of Matiangi and his team coming out to speak about the real issues affecting the people, partly it makes sense, and those are the conversations that the people of Kenya really wants to hear. In apart from Kisii, they partly passed, the Rift Valley, where they were in part of Bomet, crisscrossing via Kericho. I saw them, of course, having another good reception. And today I was surprised to see the senator of Kericho, Cheruiyot, saying that, warning actually the leaders who welcomed them through Kericho Bomet. And it really surprised me because these are Kenyans. Every politician, they are entitled to move throughout the republic to, to share and to preach the gospel that they have according to them. Why would you give restrictions telling leaders that welcomed them that they are not even supposed to come to their region? Sometimes I sit down here such comments from leaders, especially senators, governors, representatives of the people, and then I ask myself, Kwani, where are we? Are we even following or listening to the constitution? And these are the people who are supposed to be preaching that unity, preaching since they are politicians. Most of the time they do have opportunity to get to other regions, and if you want to now block to fence the area, how are you then going to get to your brothers? When you get to your brothers, would you want it is a serious misbehavior amongst the political class, and these are some of the things that should be called out. To me, let politicians have a free movement. Let them sell the agenda. If the agenda is resonating with the people, let the people give them the opportunity. Do not block opponents from giving their views simply because you're in government, you are in control of the forces and the security apparatus. It is not right. We boast of being a democratic environment, especially in the eastern part of Africa. But again, are we really practicing? Are we really leading with good examples? We are not doing so. Actually, we are getting back to where we came from. Kenyans fought for this kind of democracy, these rights of movement, and of course these issues of inclusivity. Let us not get back. Today or yesterday I saw a young girl in Luwak Girls being sent home not to put on hijab, and to me that is discrimination. As much as there's no any other language, give people the opportunity to do, of course, what they want. And of course we understand we are a region or a country that has quite a number of religions. Just give them a chance. Don't block them. Don't make them feel that they don't belong. It is not right. Let us welcome one another, love one another. That is the only way that this country will move forward.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Makobura, and also thank you so much, Mise, for joining. Let me bring Musimamo too, then Mise will come in to actually talk about Kisii. He can give us more about the Nyamira and Kisii tour by Dr. Fred Okengo Matiangi and the United Opposition. Msimamo, what do you have to say? Labda wewe uko na jambo gani la kusema? Uliona kwamba kuna wale ambao walikuwa waliletwa kuchochea mkutano wa Matiangi, lakini wananchi walichukua jukumu wakawafukuza na wakaendelea na mkutano. Inakuambia nini kuhusiana na mkutano ambao Matiangi alikuwa nayo katika sehemu ya Omogusi?
Mtazamo wangu unasema siasa imebadilika sasa hivi. Kupanga gumzi, tunadili na hao gumzi, mkutano unaendelea. Hili jambo nadhani limekuwa sasa ni mashiko, litakuwa na mashiko sasa hivi. Unajua pia pako kimbana sana kwenye kuta, jiandae kwa kuchaswa na meno. labda mzidi tu kwa kumchukulia gongo, mpige gongo la kichwa, lakini kwa kweli atakuwa ashakung'ata, ashakuvarambara kila mahali na kucha. So kiukweli ni kwamba hili na hata kabla kwa Sifuna pia Matiang'i alikuwa amelizungumza hili kwamba haitawezekana mambo kama ya kwamba mkutano ni wa amani, watu wanapanga gunzi kuweza kudisrupt huo mkutano. Kwa hivyo hawatakubali. Ukiweka gunzi, wananchi ndio watarudi na gunzi, na wananchi wako tayari. So nadhani hili limeleta mashiko na pia kuleta kidogo kuogofya kwa hawa ambao wanapanga haya mambo. Sasa unakuta kwa mfano nimefuatilia kauli za waziri wa usalama zinanipa mashaka. So it's like kwamba gunzi wamepata kiboko yao sasa hivi, kwamba ukipewa nafasi hiyo kwenda kufanya asiyofaa, kitakacho kukuta huko ni wewe na hali yako. So wakura kuona masuala yanatokea haswa, nadhani pia itakuwa limeleta haswa kikomo, labda haswa katika hawa wanaotumwa haswa kwenye polling station kuweza kuleta fujo kama tulivyoshuhudia Malava na Mbere. So gunzi wajiandae, ni mambo lakini vile vile nimjibu kaka yangu Ayaga hapa, unajua amenigusa mtima ati nimwambie tu kwamba UDA hiyo nayosema itachukua vitu vyote, ndio hiyo tumekuta Ruiru leo, mkutano ambao walikuwa ni mashabiki, ni wananchi wamejitokeza tu bila magari, kuona kufulizwa magari mengi hapo ya shule. Ni mkutano yani ni ile kwamba vile ambavyo Ruiru umekuwa kuja rais. So tusibebwe sana na mikutano na matukio ambayo yako kwa media, lakini tuangalie reality ya mwananchi haswa. Kwa kama tumefuatilia hapo, tumepata jibu la kujionea kwamba wananchi yuko wapi na serikali nayo iko wapi, na wale wanafungana na serikali kama yenyewe inayumba hivi, je itakuwaje? Kwa hivyo hayo ndio mambo nilikuwa nataka nimwambie tu Ayaga kwamba usijipige sana kifua na kumsifu babako na mbio. Mtazame na yule Mmasai ambaye anakuja spidi, shuka likiwa juu, spidi yake yenye iko ndo kama sasa hivi. Angalia sasa hivi vuguvugu hili unalozungumza Sifuna ndo kama amemsha hivi. Sifuna already alikuwa amekinzana na hao tangia awali. So Sifuna yuko in the position. Na kama yuko in the position, we are safe. Kwa sababu sasa hivi angalia mwananchi aliko, alafu na hizi propaganda zote zinazopangwa, mipango ambayo iko chini ya maji, hata kwa mahesabu ambao wamepiga kwamba lazima mtu ashinde hizo 24 wote, hizi mahesabu hazina mashiko, kwa sababu mwisho wa siku lazima zipimwe haswa kwa mwananchi, na kama mwananchi ameonyesha magari, kila mtu unaangalia kwa mbali, crowd ndogo tu kama ni MCA ndio iko pale kidogo anazungumza naye. So it's like inaonyesha uasilia kwamba mwananchi wa Kenya yuko wapi, viongozi uko wapi, na ndiyo bridge ilikuwa nazungumza hapa sasa yangu kwamba mwananchi viongozi na ili tupate kuchagua viongozi ambao watakuwa na tija, na hilo limekuja kutimilika. Kwa hivyo yoyote atajiunga kusika wananchi, tutaona vile itakuwa, but wale watajiunga kwenye wananchi, tutaona vile itakuwa. Asante.
All right, thank you so much Msimamo, lakini jaribu tena kuangalia kipasa sauti yako, ilikuwa inakwama kidogo. Labda sijui shida iko wapi, unaweza tatua. Wacha nikaribisha ndugu yangu Mise. Ni siku mingi sana kabla tujakuwa na mahojiano na yeye, lakini Mise nataka kusikia maoni yako. I just want you to know your thought especially of what happened on the tour, especially when Matiangi was elevated, especially as the community spokesperson and also as an elder of the community, and seems like he can give direction. How does this one makes him relevant, especially in the Kenyan political space?
Asante sana. Thank you, Brother Benson, for having us and for bringing this very important conversation that actually is the beginning of changing the history and narrative of politics in Kenya. First of all, I would like to reflect a few months or years back when people kept calling Matiangi to come and declare his stand and position as to whether he's vying for the position of presidency or not. You remember that even within the Kisi community, they did not believe that he was going to be there, and there was a division and criticism of him not coming home and giving the way forward. So that was very, there were a lot of mixed reactions as to whether he's there or not, and there were also kulikuwa na matamshi kutoka kwa ODM, chama cha ODM ambayo yalifanya jamii ya Omogusi ikakasirika zaidi when I think there was a pronouncement that Kisii as a community does not have a population or a number of fielding a presidential candidate. And that in its totality angered the Kisii community. And now when Matiangi came out and profoundly said that he's going to vie for the position of presidency, it brought a lot of excitement. And this brings a reflection of, I think it's either 2002 when the whole country sang Yote Yawezekana Bila Moi. So, and this is what is going to happen when, that's why now you have what is called United Opposition, which is going to sing the same song that Yote Yawezekana Bila Ruto. And no matter what, you've heard what they have said, that whoever they will choose and decide, all of them are going to support him. Of course, in between, there are those who will go back to, UDA or to the government. But the mood of the country kind of shows the feeling of the people and how they are disgruntled of not necessarily the economy, but on how the president and his friends and his allies are behaving, without regard to the people who elected them. And I can tell you, for example, the Kisii community do not necessarily are not influenced by the feeling or the economy at any time to guide them on how to vote. Because if you look at the Kisii community, whether they're in government or not, they are entrepreneurs and they have always survived without necessarily being in the government. So economy, whether the government is doing well or not, it has not really been a factor they use in deciding what kind of leader they are choosing. But the Kisii community has always been mostly on the opposition and trying sometimes to balance in voting either opposition 51-49 or 50-50 or something like that kind of a pattern. So the tour to Kisii is very significant because it invalidates the likes of Simba, Arati. It invalidates and brings a lot of coldness to the likes of Zahir Janda and Osoro, those brigadiers, Japheth Nyakundi, those brigadiers of the UDA who have actually been using money in luring people or actually harassing the community because they have connection to the government. This tour, if you remember, Simba Arati has been posing as the spokesman of the Kisii community. Now that is not the narrative anymore. The narrative now, the spokesperson of the Kisii community is Matiangi, and Matiangi resonates with the entire nation because he worked at the national level. If you look at Simba Arati, when in the last general election, when Baba was defeated, if you look at Nyansa, they started vying and looking at Simba Arati as the alternative at the time. And if you, I think I was in Kisumu at the time when the election was announced, and in Kisumu, people were singing Simba Netaya, you know, which meant that he was relevant then. But this tour invalidated his relevance and authority within the ODM party, not only within the ODM party, but Nyanza region, and especially in the middle of this division that we have within and wrangles that we have within ODM. Thank you.
Maybe in brief before you leave, maybe he left. I wanted to know especially the influence of Matiangi, especially on the Kisii of diaspora, whether they are also in support. But Makobura, we know yesterday that it was good. I think Miguda too is. Miguda, are you still there?
No, Mise is still here.
Oh, Mise is still here. Okay, Mise, maybe and what impact does it have, especially for him being like now a spokesperson to give the direction? And you've talked about being elevated or by the ODM. Did they foresee that Kisii could have gone or will be going at some time, so they elevated Simba Arati?
Let me get out of the elevator and then I will respond to that.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, Miguda, what is your take, especially on what happened in Kisii, the reception, the goons that were defeated by the people who came and supporting Matiangi, and the connection, actually the organicness of the crowd? What does Watan tell you about the Kisii politics, and also you put at the United Opposition and Matiangi as the spokesperson? Will it change, especially the political atmosphere in Kisii? And Nyamira included?
That question belongs to me.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, bro. First, I want to state that the Gusii politics is a bit unique, and people who come from that region understand it better, and people who are neighboring Kisii region, you find out that the other times when Matiangi also supported Uhuru Kenyatta, but Raila used to get some margin from Kisii, even they were not part of the government by that time. And that's why the previous governor of the Kisii County, to be precise, was an ODM who served for 2 terms, then later Arati came. Having said that, right now we have dynamics. Raila is no more. There's no Raila in the picture. Raila is not contesting. Even if Simba Netaya got it as a courtesy of him supporting Raila, but then because Raila was viewed as someone who was advocating for the Kisii's interest. But I have a point of departure with the question, because you understand, talked about previously Simba being the spokesperson. Currently, Matiangi has been installed as the spokesperson. So I don't know the criteria or what are these rules that make someone to be a spokesperson, and what are these rules that demote someone and elevate another person to be a spokesperson. Because to me, if we agree that we have spokespersons, this is now my view. Not that I'm in oppose of what is happening in Kisii. It's their prerogative to decide who leads them, who speaks on their behalf. But I'm suggesting that if we end up having spokespeople in the community, it means that even if a spokesperson has taken a wrong direction politically, where the people are not interested, will you subject the people to follow you because you're a spokesperson? Like what is happening right now in the ODM, and to be particular Luo Nyanza, Oburu Odinga being the spokesperson, or rather the ODM party leader and the Luo leader at this particular time. even if it takes the wrong direction. I haven't said he has taken the wrong direction. Even if, I want to be very clear. You know, there's some people who don't get things. Even if it takes the wrong direction, and the people have refused to follow him, will you say that it is the spokesperson duty to do so? That's why this politics of spokesperson, community leader, I'm opposed to it, because sometimes a community leader or a spokesperson can decide to take a wrong route, leading the community to nowhere, or leading community into a hole. Therefore, you find out that it should be a people-centered agenda whereby people can decide. Like for me, I don't have someone I'm calling my leader or someone I'm calling my spokesperson. When it comes to politics, I decide my own. I decide whom to support. I decide whom to vote for without being told. That's why right now I'm in disagreement publicly with Oburu Odinga, and I have my reasons. So I want to understand this issue whereby on the other side we are saying we don't want tribalism, we want inclusivity, or we want what we call equality. On the other side, where the people also giving powers to some individuals to be our spokespersons, to be our leader. I don't understand a point whereby at a particular point, this is a spokesperson, now this one has been demoted depending on the community interest or depending on the individual interest. Because if I'm a spokesperson today, I might decide to pursue my interests at
Yep.
the expense of the community,
Mhm.
at the expense of the community. So I'm pursuing my interests at the expense of the community, whereby the community interests I'm not putting at stake. Or sometimes I can decide to the dynamics and the friends I have. Maybe I have a Kamba friend or a Maasai friend or a Arendile friend. They decided to form alliance with my friends, depending on their communities, so spokesperson. But in the real sense, I'm not pursuing the community agenda. So all in all, I want to state that it was good for people to come together, like what happened in Kisii. It is always good to come together. But at what point do you define that these are the Arati's crowd, these are the Matiangi's crowd? Because if an Arati calls rally tomorrow, you'll see the same people in large numbers. So at what point do we divide that? Okay, in Kisii region right now, these are the Arati people, these are the Matiangi people. But what I like about yesterday's rally, and I'm very much delighted, is that the people came from different part of the country and assembled at Kisii. These are the things we have been fighting for. We have been fighting for peaceful assembly. We have been fighting for freedom of movement, whereby anyone has a freedom to move to any part of this country. Anybody has a right to conduct assembly, which is peaceful. And the people who are trying to interfere with people's meetings, that's why I have a problem. How comes that you have a meeting, then some people interfere in your meeting, whereby even them, they have meetings, but you have not invaded their meetings. So this issue of interfering with people's meetings should be condemned first. This issue whereby when people come to assemble and try to address issues, it should be an issue-based assembly or issue-based baraza, whereby we come and present it. But there's also something I observe. People were attacking each other too. People concentrate on insults. People concentrate on other things other than trying to tell the people of Kenya that alternatively we want to pursue XYZ. So those are the things I observe. But all in all, what I want to say is that the Gusii region, I've been there several times. I've been there. I've been going there. I also have a very good number of friends from the region. I can just report to you right now, there's a paradigm shift in the Gusii region. And the Gusii region, the people are backing Matiangi. Matiangi is their preferred choice at this particular time in the politics of the country because of the dynamic of the politics. So anyone who want to get the Kisii votes, the only route to get Kisii votes is to align with Matiangi. If you align with other persons, I don't think they will back you.
Maybe,
m-
Brother Bernard,
thank
if I can add something really quick,
All right, go ahead.
with your permission.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
I just want to agree and disagree with what my brother said. That even in this, there's no problem of having a spokesperson, because even the way that our government is structured,
Mhm.
our government is structured through the lenses of down even up to nyumba kumi. So therefore, having a community or having someone who speaks or looks out for the interest of the community is not a bad thing. However, it depends how that person takes that responsibility that has been bestowed, or trust that has been bestowed to him, to represent the people. That's why, anyways, we have representatives from the legislative assemblies, the count at the county level, at the national level, and at the Senate level as well. So those are representatives. Basically, they are our leaders. Even in a family, there is that one person who brings sanity in the family, who brings sense of leadership in the family. And you will find that sometimes most people will agree with what decisions that he has made on behalf of the family. So there is nothing wrong with that. The problem becomes when these people, power or that recognition and trust gets so much into their head that they use it to disadvantage those communities or people who have given them that kind of trust, or to speak on their behalf, to be able to make certain decisions. But if you are a good spokesperson, you are not the overall leader. You have to work in consultation with the community and come back. And that's why it goes back to our culture, customs, and traditions. It goes back to how we were structured in when we read our history, that we had council of elders, and the council of elders had to go and consult in times of crisis, when there was no rain, when there's disasters and so forth. They consult and discuss, and there must be one mouthpiece or overall on behalf even of those kinds of elders. Now, if you look at the Kisii community, for the longest, we've never had anyone apart from Nyachai who was really installed to be acting on behalf of Omogusi. But over a period of time, people like Simba Arati installed themselves because of the boldness, certain decisions they made that made people think that he can actually be a leader. And it was assumed that he is. There was no ceremony that was or occasion like the one that we saw yesterday that was held in order to install him as the spokesperson of the Omogusi, or the leader of the Omogusi. Pretty much we are very independent. Sometimes you'll find, if you look at the two counties, since I was born, for example, I come from Nyamira, I've never seen Nyamira being in government. It has always been in opposition. So that tells you that the Kisii community kind of are independent, but this time round, it's decided. And this is significant because people say you can't rule other people out there. You can't govern other people out there if you're not generally been endorsed from your community, if you are not generally accepted from your community. And the rally to Kisii and the unilateral accompaniment of the other leaders, not just leaders, those who are party leaders from every part accompanying him, was symbolic that when they come and they found that kind of reception, it was symbolic that, you know what, you are now generally accepted. You can go out there and be a leader to other people. There was doubt, just what that was cast by people like Osoro and the rest. But now that the crowd speaks for itself, now you can go out there. You have been given the mandate, not just by the other tribes, but actually from your own community. If you remember, Matiangi was never in the past celebrated within the Kisii community, because I was among the people who questioned what was his contribution at the time when he was holding very powerful position. But again, if you look at him nationally, he's celebrated because of certain alignment he made in the ministries that he was given. And that gave him the championship for him to be the leader that probably that we are looking at, not just as a politician, but also someone who comes from as an expert or has expertise to bring and shape the governance.
Thank you so much, especially for that. And maybe before Makobura, do you have anything to say, especially about the?
Maybe before you leave, Mr. Mise, there's a question that you had asked him about the perception or the view of the people in diaspora, more so from the Gusii community, whether he's been accepted even on the other side of diaspora. He has not.
Yeah. Sorry, I might have missed that. I can quickly respond. I'll tell you something. So, last year, I attended a funeral in, I think it was in Maryland or so. Went down there, and my cousin passed on. And when I went down to Maryland, Matiangi was in attendance of that meeting, and that was the first time I came very close to Matiangi, because since we were family, we were sitting very close. And when he stood to speak, I changed my perspective of him as a diaspora. And in that funeral, I'll tell you, there were more than 300 vehicles. Literally, the church was packed, the streets were packed, and this was because Matiangi was going to be in attendance of that meeting. What I made out of that, when in that funeral, there was one Roslyn Akombe, and okay, I'm coming. I'm not sure to finish. So there was one Roslyn Akombe in attendance, who was championing the endorsement of Maraga, Justice Maraga, and Matiangi, and the reception of Matiangi was ecstatic. So, in my view, from the diaspora community, I feel like the diaspora community can relate with Matiangi more than they can relate with Ruto. The diaspora community can relate on what the transformations that Matiangi made in the Ministry of Education and the Interior, when he was in the Interior docket, and so forth, then they can relate with someone like Murkomen, you know?
Yeah.
So that most people in diaspora see policies effected and change, and the effects of the change of policy 101, than we see it back home. So therefore, I believe from Canada, where I am, every person is very excited, except those who belong to the community of the sitting president, and actually some of those who come from the community of the sitting president are disgruntled of the president's style of governance, and I believe that he will have a lot of support. There are a lot of right now there are a lot of groups that have emerged. They are trying to come together to raise funds in support of Matiangi, in support of other people who are working with him. So I believe he is going to get overwhelming support from the diaspora community.
All right, thank you so much.
But Ben, just one question before I know he wants to leave.
Okay.
Before he leaves, but Nami said there's also this question of political party. We've heard people saying that he should have come with a political party that is maybe owned by him, a party that has been built first from the community and then now brought forth. People are questioning why he's coming with Jubilee, and there's this critic that Jubilee might not give him. There's this sense of belief that people are not really associating him with Jubilee. What is your view on that, and can that be a challenge?
That's actually a very good question, and this has been an issue that has been discussed even as of now with amongst the Kisii community that I interact with. They make it an issue that he does have a party called UPA. Matter of fact, and they are wondering why go to Jubilee, but we will understand that Matiangi is a close friend to the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and the support that we are seeing, or even the affiliation of him with Jubilee, I think is by extension of the support of the former president, and therefore Jubilee is a party which is bigger and known and has failed a presidential candidate that was in power for 2 terms, as opposed to UPA, a party that is not very known. If you look at Jubilee, ODM, Wiper Party, and Ford Kenya, or Ford the one for Musalia Mudavadi, and so forth. Those are anywhere you go in the country, if you mention that, people can relate and people can know about it. But mostly, I think, for me, it's the idea of who supports you in presidential. When you're running for a presidential position, I think it's very taxing. It's very taxing financially, logistically, and many ways. Jubilee has existing infrastructures that they do not need to reinvent or reinvest a lot of money, as opposed to starting to use UPA to create those structures that are non-existent now. So I believe that is a right choice, but it comes to political parties. To me, in Kenya, they are nothing, because if you look at them, technically, they don't have, like if you look at, for example, Canada, we have the Liberal Party and we have the Conservative. If you look at the US, you have the Democratic Party and Republic, and you can see what their ideals, what they stand for, and it's consistent year in, year out. But in Kenya, the political parties are not necessarily, don't have even, on paper they do, but in practice they don't. Because if you look at, let me ask you, if you look at the manifesto of any political party in Kenya, it looks very decorative on paper, but in implementation, nothing. Look at political parties are also supposed to help us fight corruption, But how many political parties have you heard are have called their own and reprimanded them when they feel that he is not carrying out or representing or carrying out himself in accordance to the political party ideals or manifesto? We've never had none, but only when one of their own goes against the party in terms of making a decision or supporting what the party doesn't believe in, then they will reprimand him. You will remember Jalango, for example, and Tom Ojienda. I think it was Tom Ojienda, Professor Tom Ojienda, if I've not forgotten, when at the beginning they wanted to work with William Ruto, they were reprimanded by even the political party and the public for working with Ruto. But when you looked on the other hand, when Gladys Wanga, Moses Kajwang, Orengo, when they were working with William Ruto, there was nobody reprimanded them because they were they were working in line with what their political party wanted. So sometimes there is a lot of insincerity when it comes to political party. I believe the political party is just a vehicle. What matters is the motive of the leader, and if the leader wants to take us to Singapore, like they were telling us, we will get there. But if we have insincere political leaders who do not even understand how Singapore and the sacrifices that were made for Singapore to be Singapore, we will have the same stories in, year out, without anything. So I think that's my take on that.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. for your contribution, and we really appreciate you so much. Let me come to Miguda. Makobura, I think you're the person who was supposed to go. I know Mr. has left now, so let's come and we are
Miguda should go first.
Okay, Miguda should go. We are still on Kisi, especially, and Mr. talked about the installation of he talked about the installation of Matiangi and also Simba Arati. Remember, he talked of something like Nyachae used to be like, this is the person who was installed, and Matiangi being now the second person in command in history that is now being installed as the spokesperson of the Omogusi. And earlier we talked about the ODM, especially has always ripped so much from the Kisi. And now we are seeing Matiangi consolidating the Omogusi, and majority of ODM members, including I saw Okongo Mogeni, I saw also Richard Onyonka, Mr. Miguda. Where does this one put ODM in terms of Kisii votes or Kisii area? Will ODM, with how it is right now, do you think they will consolidate with Simba Arati to consolidate Kisii and at least have some hope that this is amount that we are going to get from Kisii? With Kimagendi, things is gone also, you know.
If you want to know where there is an exodus, where there is a mass exodus in ODM, is the Gusii region. Remember, all the Kisii lawmakers have followed Sifuna and Babu in their rallies. You can trace Barongo, you can trace that guy with specs, you can trace Anthony Kibagendi, you can trace the Senator for Nyamira, Okongo Mogeni, you can trace Onyonka. Those were ODM guys. So if you want to know where there is a mass exodus in this ODM thing, it is in Kisii. It is Kisii, it has happened. Everybody has left. Simba Arati is a one-man standing in that region. So when you talked about the ODM has really been affected in Kisii region. The Matiangi wave has hit ODM in the Gusii region than any other region for the ODM, because that fever hasn't reached coast that much. But in Kisii region, that's where that fever is strong. So I don't think ODM might survive a test of time in Kisii in those respective legislative positions. The ones
Especially the two counties. Talk about the two counties, that is Nyamira and Kisii.
I focus my point on the Kisii because Nyamira went long time ago.
Okay.
Because even the governor of Nyamira, you understand, actually, Ruto won against Raila in Nyamira. Raila defeated Ruto in Kisii region, Kisii County. So it is Kisii which has been the bedroom for ODM in that region, not Nyamira. Nyamira has not been that much. So in terms of this split of ODM, where it has been split right in the middle is the Kisii. Actually, if you look at the people behind Babu and Sifuna in those rallies, almost 7 of them are coming from Kisii region. So you understand what I'm trying to say. ODM is, it is no longer in Kisii, in my view. But what I want to discuss this issue of spokesperson. And I told you that I need, some people need to understand. I was saying, and I was very clear that you can have a spokesperson, which I'm not in dispute, but a spokesperson can be wrong. A spokesperson can decide to pursue his own interests without pursuing the interests of the community. So at what point do we say this spokesperson is right or wrong? At the same time, if I'm endorsed today, at what point was I demoted and another person has been brought? So who is this person endorsing people? Who is this person making people spokesperson? Because in my view, when elders made a spokesperson, were elders consulting the people? Were elders concurring with the people? Like the issue of, let me give you a recent example. When Oburu was installed the ODM party leader, were the delegates consulted? Now people want to go to the NDC. So if you are installing Matiangi as the Gusii spokesperson, were you in concurrent with the people? Were you in consultation with the people? Or there are some 20 elders somewhere sitting somewhere with the community customs regalia and endorsing a person? So this is our spokesperson. This one is our spokesperson. So that's where I've been trying to find out the voice of the people in this thing so-called spokesperson, this is so-called community leader. Where is the role of the people here? Does it mean that few elders can serve people? And let me tell you one thing, not that I'm in disrespect of the elders. It is true that elders are there, but there's some decision that elders can be wrong. Elders cannot be right all the time. Elders can make a certain decision to favor them or to pursue their own interests at that committee or at that council of elders. They can be given some cash to pursue someone's interest. How sure are you that whatever they are doing or whatever they're endorsing, anyone they're endorsing, they are in agreement and consultation to the people? This does not only apply to the Gusii region, but the entire community in the Kenya at large. Even if you go to Masai, who are these people making a Masai spokesperson? Who are these people making a Kamba spokesperson? Where are these people? That's point number one. Point number two, you talked about, and Makubura asked this, you talked about political parties, and even Ayaga has been insisting on this, political parties. My issue is one. In a particular political party, if you are popular, you should be the person taking the leadership role of that political party. There should not be any queue that when it's come from certain leader, it goes down to a certain leader. If I'm popular in PLP, I'm the person who take the role of the leadership. There is no way whereby I'm the popular person in that political party. Then you want to tell me to queue until Martha Karua exit politics, or you want me to queue in DCP until Gachagua get out of the politics, but I'm popular than Gachagua, or you want me to queue in UDA and I'm popular than the president. If I'm popular than Mr. Ruto, therefore I'm the person to take that ticket for the UDA and run against other candidates. There's no way whereby I'm popular than the party leader. Then you want to delay my visions and my dreams because of your own interest. So I was trying to state it very categorically that even when you cite Republican and Democrats, anytime Americans goes to elections, they first do opinion poll, and they learn the popular person in the Democrat political party will always contest against the Republican popular candidate. And even if you cite the issue of Canada, the popular in my view, should be the person leading the presidential campaigns. There's no way I'm the popular person, I have the people, then you want me to queue because of those rules you have. Those are non-existent rules like elders, there is a queue, party leader A, when he dies, so and so should be the one taking. But I'm the popular candidate. Can you understand my point? If I'm popular, it doesn't matter whether I am young or I'm old. If I'm popular and the people are aligned to my visions, people are aligned to my ideologies, people are aligned to my philosophy, I'm the person to take over from any leader who is going out. There's no way you want me to support you or you want to ride on my popularity so for you to benefit. That's where I said I have a point of departure, whereby the issue of spokesperson and this issue of leadership structure the party. But all in all, I'm in concurrent with the issue that people are free to move the country. People are free to form alliances at their own convenient, their political rights and rights to associate. That is something which I'm very glad as Kenyan people we are celebrating, that at least there is that right to associate without being intimidated by anybody or without being directed that you should stick to PLP, you should stick to Mimi ndio Sifuna. Anybody has his own political right and also his own right to associate to anybody at his or her convenience. That's why I'm fully supporting the meeting that happened in Kisii. I'm fully supporting the idea that people are at liberty. The only problem I have with these assemblies, you find out that sometimes there are people who are invading them. But the question we have been asking, that the people who are sending people to interfere with other people's rally, these other people's or opponents have never interfered with their rallies. So should we start that, okay, you come, you interfere with my meetings, you invade my meetings, therefore even you, there's no way you will hold any meeting in this country. Anytime you try to assemble, I disrupt. Because if it's a matter of goons are spread across the country. There are no sections of the country whereby you can say only Gusii region have goons. So, Makpura, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Migud. Allow me to also give this opportunity to Msimamo pia yeye atupee maoni yake on the Kisii tour and specifically the role of Dr. Matiangi and the view of community. Partly yale umekuwa ukisikia tukizungumzia Msimamo. Acha nikupe nafasi nawe pia utupe maoni yako, general view on what we've been discussing. I know very well you've been following. I saw your comments at the comment section. Msimamo, nafasi ni yako.
Kuna wakati pia nilitema upande usi kama
na katika kidogo, sijui ni
ndio hivyo, nikiwa nje ya hii show ndo nawasikia vizuri, nikiingia hapa ndo maana nilikuwa
uko sawa.
natoka.
Sasa endelea.
Sababu tunashinda, sijui sababu ni nini. Mimi sina usemi mwingi kwa sababu tumejionea yale tumejionea, na kwa kweli toa hii ya Kisii ni jambo la kulipigia mfano wake, kwa sababu Kisii imesimama imara kwa kiongozi wao ambaye ni kingpin wao sasa hivi Matiangi. Linasimama na watu wake imara, yaani na viongozi wao imara. Mfano uliona kule Kakamega juzi, umeona Nyamira. So kwa kweli wananchi wameamua haswa kuwa na fungu lao na kuweza kubaka pale viongozi ambao wanaona kwamba utasimama haswa Afrika kwa ajili ya kuweza kuwapumzisha mzigo walionao. lakini kikubwa zaidi ni kwa jinsi ambavyo watakabiliana na wagunzi. Unaona, na la msingi sana ni kwamba viongozi hao wanaonyesha umoja wa kushikana haswa pamoja, kwamba ni sisi wananchi sasa hivi tuamue, tuwapime kwa mizani. Nadhani kwa sababu wamekuja na wametupa sikio, basi ndio tutawaelekeza nani asimame hapo. Tukiona Sifuna anatosha, tunaambia Sifuna asimame. Tukiona Matiangi anatosha, tutaambia Matiangi anatosha, na wao wafanye hivyo. Wasiwasi wangu tu ni kwamba wasia wakaanza kupokana haswa vili kwamba sisi jamii, sisi kama mtu wetu hataweza kusikizwa, basi sisi hapo tutampa mtu mwingine mbavu, na ndio wasiwasi wangu. Kwa hiyo nadhani hawatafanya hayo makosa yenye wameamua kusikiza wananchi. Wananchi ndio wataamua in behalf of them, kwa sababu wataangalia nani ambaye anatija zaidi katika wao viongozi, kwa sababu kimtazamo wangu hakuna kiongozi ambaye hana tija. Wote wale waliokuwa kisiasa, hakuna ambaye hana tija, wala akipewa nafasi kuliongoza ile taifa ama wakipata nafasi kupanga serikali, basi haitakuwa serikali yenye itakuwa sina wasiwasi mimi kwangu kwamba itakuwa ni serikali ambayo itakuwa na tija mno, kwa sababu viongozi wanaoielewa sheria wapo, kama party leader Martha Karua anaielewa zaidi sheria. Kwa kisimama pale uongo, hatutaweza kuona kwamba katiba inapoa kisogo kama tunavyoshuhudia sasa hivi. Lakini vile vile pia haswa masuala ya wagunzi hawa wanaotekeleza mauaji haswa hususa polisi wa kiwaka. Maana tumeshuhudia si mara moja si mara mbili, la juzi la kuvamiwa Swaga Shagwa kule kanisani na maafisa wa polisi walijulikana kwa sura, but up to date hakuna chochote ambacho kimeendelea. So nadhani tukiwa na hawa viongozi wakitengeneza serikali, basi nadhani sheria itaweza kutekelezwa kikamilifu, na pia kuhakikisha kwamba kila taasisi itafanya kazi yake pasipo kuingiliwa sana na siasa, ili kwa faida ya nchi. So kwa kweli ni wakae tu pamoja kwamba wanatosha, tumewakubali. So ni sisi wenyewe wananchi tuangalie nani anafaa zaidi, lakini sina usemi mwingi mimi, kwa sababu nachukua kwamba ni ya nyumbani, na siku zote mtu hutuzwa kwao, mtu hutuzwa kwao. So mapokeleo yale na pia kuwa endorsed kwa Matiangi inaonyesha wazi, lakini ule mmoja ambao umekuwa pale, kuna ule umati ambao umekuwa pale, basi licha kwamba ni wa nyumbani, lakini pia kwamba wananchi wana ile wanataka kujibu sasa hivi kwa mashambulizi dhidi ya hawa wana Singapore na wana broad based government, kama kina ndugu yangu kina Eric Ayali ambao walimpiga Sifuna teke wakidhania labda wamemuua, kumbe ndio wamemuongezea safari. Sasa hivi wanamuimba ati ni wetu, ni wenu wapi, wakati sasa hivi mnaye SG mpya ambaye ameweza kuhojiwa pale na Jeff na kameza maneno akayauma maneno. So for real, mimi sina usemi wa hatua ile, kwa sababu ni tu ambayo kwa kweli ilikuwa ya kivyake, ilikuwa na muhimu kwa kivyake, na imeamsha siasa haswa nzima, kwamba tulekako sasa itakuwa si kwa mchezo. Siwezi ikiwa gunzi tu na ukaribiwa mkutano kwa watu kadhaa tu, ambapo mwisho wa siku hawawezi enda wakafanywa lolote lile wakijulikana. Kila mtu alinde cha kwake, na hilo nadhani litakuwa ni zuri zaidi, ili wananchi tufanye fungu letu, ili tusishuhudie tena yale yalikuwa mbele na Malaba, lakini vile vile pia tushuhudie enzi zile za 2022 2017 na 13 mtawalia, kwamba wananchi wamefanya haya, lakini kuna wengine wamezuka na yao, lakini mwisho tunasukuma mahakamani. Kwa hiyo kwa kweli mimi nitaachia pale ndugu zangu, lakini bado tuangalie tatatua itakokuwa kesho. Na kikubwa cha mwisho ni cha kujiuzuru kwa deputy wa Wanga yule wa Gladys Wanga. Sasa sijui nako kuna nini huko.
Labda utupe maoni yako on that before nilete Eric Ayaga, naona ako hapa.
Kama ameachwa Wanga inamaanisha kuna matatizo hapo ndugu yangu, kwa sababu ukiona deputy wako ameweza kukukwepa, amejua unakoelekea ni wewe tu, unabaki mtupu, na ni like umewekwa tu hapo mbele kama chambo, lakini hakuna lolote lile, kwa sababu kwa kweli ile nguvu sasa hivi ya Gladys Wanga nazidi kudimia kila uchao. na nadhani hapa kuna mvutano kiasi. Mimi sijafuatilia zaidi, lakini kambe ya kila mtu anavuta upande wake. So kwa mtu wa heshima zake, mtu ambaye anapanga mahesabu yake vizuri, hawezi bishana tu kujiuzulu, alafu baadaye ndo atueleze kwa nini amejiuzulu na stand yake iko wapi. Lakini kama itakuwa huyu amejiuzulu, ameachiwa Wanga, tujiulize swali, itakuwaje? Mbona ni kamba kitumbua cha Gladys Wanga kinazidi kuingia mchanga tu, atakila kweli? Asante.
Thank you. Allow me to also welcome Eric Ayaga to give us his views on what we've discussed, and partly msimamo. Nimeona mlikuwa na mambo huko kwa comment section, labda usitoroke bado, lakini naomba Eric, ukikuja, let us maintain the respect, and again have in mind that every opinion counts. Eric, ni wakati wako.
Unaweza nipata vizuri? Am I clear?
Yes, proceed.
Okay, thank you. Hii maneno ya kisi, mimi I think I've made my point at a comment section. Matiangi, whoever is advising him, anamdanganya. Our politics is local. What we say, the politics is local. If you wanted to actually be a serious contender, angechukua another party. Even if going with the officials of Jubilee, could have branded a new party and sell that party at grassroots level to say this is a Kisii party, and then is looking for friends. That's how parties are made in this country. Even UDA, the sole purpose of the sole members of UDA are from Rift Valley. Even Uhuru, when he was forming TNA, he was forming a Kikuyu party or a Central Kenya party, then he moved with it. Whoever is cheating Matiangi to go to a party that has atrocity, that has ruled for about 10 years and committed atrocity, that advice, I think, I need to meet him so that I give him some of my because he's going to carry a lot of baggage. What the Jubilee administration, that is not even part of as whole, but with that he will take the whole thing. And I think that is what made Raila Odinga fail in 2022. When he was supported with Uhuru, he carried all Uhuru's problem. The problem that even made when Ruto was the deputy president all along, and he never resigned, he was still, yeah. And he distanced himself with all those and let Raila carry all those. So if Matiangi have the political manpower to carry all those who are wishing him, those who are advising him, we will meet with them in the heaven, because he will not go anywhere with that party. Leave alone this charisma of mobilizing and bringing so many people. My friend, CRC crowd, you can have them, but still you will be beaten. Siasa and strategy and how you manage yourself, I think, if I was to advise Matiangi. When I come to my brother Msimamo, I had some little chats upper comment section. I want to tell you, ODM, you know, when a leader of a party or a kingdom dies, the kingdom does what we call the mutation. Kizungu kubwa, mutation. It mutates into some things that you can't control. Yeah. So now ODM have three wings. We have a wing that is making opposition very agile, and they think they got new visitors. They will know later. We also have another wing that is heading towards the two-term. It is making UDA people very agile and very happy. They will know later. And then there is a neutral wing where Otiende Amolo is, Nyong'o is, where Ruth Odinga is, where Stewart Mazayo, I think ni senator wako huko. Yeah, even Mungaro, even Mohamed Faki, you have not seen them singing two-term or one-term. You ask yourself why, Akina Ole Dama. You don't even know why they went quiet. And many MPs that I can count. You are not seeing them in the both camps, yet they are in ODM. You don't know what is going in ODM. Leave ODM alone. If I told you Sifuna is ours, is ours. If I told you the Nyongos faction is ours, is ours. They are ours. They are ODM. If I told you Oburu is in our side, it is ODM. So don't teach ODM what to do. What I'm trying to say, let us sell our party. If Matiangi has settled on Jubilee, let's him sell Jubilee into Goose region, and he should not go there and sell what we call opposition, united opposition. There is nothing like that. At the end of the day, even after election, you can only be called if you have at least more than 20 or so MPs. If you will have none in the name of Jubilee and calling yourself a candidate of opposition, united opposition, it will be very risky for him. As a matter of those who see politics in a deeper way, always what I've helped people, and even I've helped somebody called Moses Masika Wetangula, you always have an identity in a party called Ford Kenya. And that Ford Kenya always give him some 2 senators or 1, at some 2 or 3 or 1 governor, and he have about 7 or 6 MPs. So he have a bargaining power. But if Matiangi will settle on a party that is dead and buried, even the card that Gideon is having today, if you even look at the logo, it's not the card that his father was using. People rebrand. In politics, we say forest, we change the forest, but animals ni wale wale. It's very important. You know, politics is perception, and it is a lot of things. It is not just Matiangi. We see you as Matiangi, and then you think you come with any other party that has caused a lot of problems, a lot of pain in Kenyan society, and then you jump into that party, and then we will be seeing you as Matiangi. What people see is first is party, and that's how Baba has been judged. ODM party. You see, they see party first. We judge. Unanungunika na ndio nimeingia ndugu yangu. Hii tabia ya kimuni unatoa wapi?
Unasema saa yote unaongea pumba hapa. Usikizwe wewe na pumba
lako. Hii tabia ya kimuni unatoa wapi? Yeah. Ulianza kukunywa pombe?
Eric, kindly let's maintain decorum.
Yes, you need to let the guy leave me speak, and I was really quiet when he was speaking. Hizi tabia apeleke huko kwingine ndio atanikasirisha hapa. So what I'm saying is not even from Matiangi's party. I have not even touched his party. Yeah, because we are talking about opposition to in Gusii region.
I get you.
I'm still talking about Jubilee. Yeah.
Let's just do that with maximum respect, Eric, kindly. Let us...
Yeah, but I'm still talking about Jubilee. Is he from Jubilee? Is he from Jubilee? That's my question.
It's okay, proceed.
He's not a Jubilee member.
My request is, let's just maintain maximum respect and love for one another. Kindly, proceed.
Yes, I think Msimamo should either declare either is in ODM, is in the Jubilee, or is in Purple Color Party inaitwa nini? NAK Kenya. He should just declare so that we know how we discuss, because I've not even talked about the presence of even the mockery of Rigathi Gachagua, what he did there, that is now causing problems in Kisii by calling Zaire Janda Muindi. Those are the kinds of political profilement that are destroying things for the opposition. If we start speaking, manunguniko, no, it is not that if somebody speaks and people are quiet, he has a point. I may disagree with what you are saying, but I will give you right to say it. The same to me, my friend. So, the blunders that they did there are too much than the blessings they will receive. You know, Matiangi left them free. They went ahead. and start goons. There is also a goon side that I witness in Kisii too much. And these goons, I now come to realize that they are not too much from the government side. Even the government has their goons, but the competitors who are trying to please their leaders, their individual leaders in these big rallies, also have an internal fight. People are fighting of who mobilize who and whose people should shout for. Those are what is causing these problems in these political rallies. And this is something that we must see as a people. It will cause more deaths than even mandamanos that we are talking about. It is something that the government should stop. It happened in Kakamega. We saw it in Kitengela. We also witnessed in Kisii. And even the Ruto rally that he did in Nairobi, you saw those goons after leaving the rally, they were stealing around, beating people. So it is something that is across the board. And it is something that should be condemned, even in Siaya. That Uhuru's rally, I think you watched the videos at the tail end. There were goons that descend on people and they really did bad things. So I'm praying that Kenyans, let us don't have a goon mind of you think you are right more than the other. Let us sit down and reason. I think on the issue of the deputy governor of Homa Bay resigning, it is a good thing. It is leading by example, and I think that can shows the political maturity from our region. That if you disagree with somebody politically, if you disagree with somebody politically, you can actually resign. Wachana huyu hii tabia anatoa huko kwingine, anataka tu kukuja kuvuruga huku. Hiyo tabia najua mahali anatoa. So I think if you disagree with somebody politically, you need to resign and be aside. So Oyugi Magwanga has did a very better thing. Yugi Magwanga actually has did a better thing. You don't need to stick around. If you feel you can't work with somebody, you resign. And that is what Raila Odinga did when he could not work with Ford. He resigned and he seek a re-election in his new party called NDP. So that tells you that the people from that side of the world, we are very mature, and what we disagree with, when we disagree with something, we come out openly at Tununiki. If we can't work with you, we tell you we can't work with you. If we can work with you, we can tell you, we will also tell you we can work with you. So it's a very good example. So many deputy governors, I know that discussion will be from tomorrow, even Siaya, where I come from. The deputy governor has never stepped in office for about two years now. He's not working. Instead of resigning and let governor work, look for another person who can take that charge. He has sat there taking and doing nothing. And I think those are the things that the Oyugi Magwanga of this world, that courage, is teaching us a lot in this country. Thank you. Sasa hii watu wa kunung'unika na kunini, they can come and bwaka hapa mpaka Yesu arudi.
Unajua Mark ndugu yangu, ikiona jamaa wangu hapa nashindwa hata sio anazungumza nini. Yeye ana condemn eti Gachagua aliongea vibaya juu ya sio bunge nani. Haya yaliongewa Kisumu ya watu wasifike huko, nayo ni sawa. Mbona hayaongei hayo? Si tumeongea hapa tukiingia katika show. Mbona azungumzii? Kwa nini wasingie Kisumu? Mwenye anazungumza na mandate kama nani ya kuzuia wengine wasifanye rally Kisumu? So sometimes ukizungumza vitu, zungumza vitu ambavyo vina reality. Usiende tu na ushabiki ambao hauelezeki. Alafu pili, sikusomi ayaga kwamba uko broad based government ama kwa wapi. Wakati mtu asifuna maana hafai, maana hafungamani na matarajio yenu ya chama na kiongozi wenu, mkaamua kumfurusha kwa sababu ODM tayari mlikuwa mnaona kwamba imegiva bila Sifuna ODM mtakwenda. Kipi tena ambacho tunatuambia kwamba wewe nayo ni wa Sifuna, Sifuna ni wetu sisi kama ODM, tuna mipango hii, ni mbinu, ni njia ipi? Sometimes kuwa mtu ambaye unaeleza vitu ambavyo utakuwa vinatija, mtu akisikiza vinaleta maana. Kaka yangu, usiume mara mbili. Utaki kugusiwa chama yako, leave alone with the party, na unazungumza vyama vya watu wengine. So sometimes kuwa mtu ambaye unasomeka mjomba, maana mpaka mdau hatukusomi uko wapi, si una yumbo uko wapi, si bado kwa broad based government ama uko one term. Na kama unasema kwamba Sifuna yuko huko mbona Gladys Wanga haimbi one term? Mbona Mbadi haimbi one term? Itakuwaje Sifuna ndo anaimba one term na Babu Owino na mzee James Orengo? Usijaribu kuleta ati ODM haijagawanyika nini. The ODM ishagawanyika, lakini walioigawanya mnawajua. Alafu pili, umezungumzia swala la Uhuru kwamba Uhuru yasababisha kukosa ushindi wa baba. Uongo. Hao ulionao ndio waliopo kwenye broad based government ndio walikuwa wa kwanza swa waliokatili ushindi wa mzee. Maana sasa hivi wamejionyesha kwa rangi zao hadisi. So huko kwetu tunasema bebe likivunjika liweke kwa mvungu, kwa sababu litakuja kusaidia kesho. Mngemuhifadhi Sifuna, mngempa party leader, chama kingemarika, kingesimama, kwa sababu alikuwa na maana na huyu kijana alikuwa na ndoto ya kijana. Lakini sasa hivi tunashukuru, maana sasa mmempeleka katika ngazi ya presidential candidate. Mlimuona mnammaliza, sasa hivi huyo mwandani wenu ambaye mmeshaungana, maana hamna haja na 10 hizo 10 point agenda na NADEC report, hiyo imeisha. Haja yenu ni power, watu wa broad based government akina Yaga, basi na kugawana 50-50 na kupata docket ya deputy president. Hayo ndio matarajio yenu, mlikuwa nampeleka speed. Sasa kwa huyo jirani yenu sasa ambaye mlikuwa mnakurubiana naye, kwa sababu lazima tuwe kwa government, sisi lazima tuwe kwa government, lazima tuwe na power. Sawa, leo hii ameona mtukufu, watu wana shughuli zao, alafu nakuja hapo natuambia pumba hapa. Najua game ya siasa ni numbers, najua game ni perception na kadhalika, lakini nao ni abao hiyo, kwa sababu sasa hivi hapa ni mwananchi against leadership yenye ipo. So whoever associate with mwananchi, yeye ndio sasa hivi anashika mbavu. Usiniambie kwamba hiyo yote umate hauna maana. Una maana kubwa. Ukitafakari, ukiona Ruiru, ukiona na Nyanza juzi wakati ule mkutano wa Siaya, utaelewa kwamba mwananchi yuko wapi Yaga. So usijaribu kutumia hapa mambo mawili kwa pamoja, mara unazungumza uko huku, mara uko huko, hatukusomi. Asante.
Okay, thank you. My last question to you, Eric, and then Msimamo will give his take as well, is the issue of IEBC coming out to declare that there would be no phone or taking photos within or inside the polling station. What does that mean? Why have they come up with this kind of, Msimamo, acha Eric apeane maoni yake on this and then you pick up kindly.
I am trying to manage not to rebuttal
Watueleze sababu kwa nini hawataka hizo simu. Tutajiwezaje kupeperusha swala na kuonyesha kile ambacho kiko pale?
Msimamo, you are giving your take kindly.
Unani
Nakusikiza, endelea. Eric, maybe you can go ahead.
Haya, unajua when ODM forms government, I will want to be Minister of Interior so that I deal with the drug trafficking along the coastal region. I'm seeing it affects a lot of people. So anyway, what I'm saying is about the IBC thing. Yeah, I don't think it is logical, and it is also making sense in another way. There is this thing of people tells you, you go vote, take a picture, and then you come, I give you money. And I think that should end. Voting should be private. It is privacy between me, myself, and I. I can eat your money at the gate and I vote for the opposite candidate. But I've seen in this few by-election where you vote, you take a picture of your voting, of what you have marked, and you go to a very far distance, like 500 meters from the polling station. Somebody is there, you show the picture, you get money. I think that is a malpractice that needs to be stopped. Even in exams, we don't use forms. So I don't think stepping away from your phone, like you enter with it, but when you are heading to the booth, you left it here. You go vote, you come pick it, you get your hand marked, and then you leave. I don't think it is a big deal. But you know, when people have no strategy, people have no, yes.
Sorry for interjecting, but I wanted to just put my view on what you've just said, and I want to hear your take as well on what you've just said now. Eric, remember the world that we are in today. We are in a digital world, and if you remember the election that was nullified by CJ Emeritus David Maraga, he did say something that the greatness of a nation lies on one, people respecting the constitution of the land, and above all, the respect of God. And then he read the nullification of that particular election. And I just want to ask you, Eric, in these times of the world, I mean, in these times, why would you stop people from having their gadgets or having their taking photos? Because Eric, truth be told, I'm quite sure you voted not once, not twice. If you take a line or you are lining going to the booth, do you even have maximum time to take the videos or those kind of things? To me, I think it is not this is a special way of trying to come up with a way of stopping people from exercising and of course enjoying their constitutional rights. Your view, Eric, on that?
Okay, thank you very much. I think you have not understood what the IB have just said. They have not said you don't go with the phone to the polling station. You can just go. They have not said you should separate yourself and your phone while entering a polling room. You can just do it. But while inside, because our polling booths mostly are inside, or for those who are voting outside, it is also a little not far from where the verification is being done. Going to the booth, you should not go with your phone. I support it because I have participated in few elections, and I know even the LSK, the election that just was done few days ago, lawyers, leave alone the Mambogas and Mama Warus and Mama Samakis and Mama Chas, lawyers, the learned friends, take a picture and they go and they use it to get money from the contestant. And I think after that, because that election was conducted by the IBC, after that is when IBC actually came up with this whole thing, because they conducted that election. And from even me, I saw one of the candidates claiming that some people, in fact, let me just mention the name, lawyer Peter Wanyama, went and complained that he thought he have won the election when many people were coming with a picture of the name ticked against him, yeah, and asking for money. And those are lawyers. So what about Mama Mbogas? What can happen to Harry, Dick and Jerry? My friend, we don't go with our phones inside exams room. Not because we are not in a digital era, not because we are not in a nanomagnetic, nanotechnology times. We have all those. But going with the phone at the polling booth, you take a screenshot, you take a picture, you send it to a friend, you send it to 10 friends who are not going to vote for the same candidate, and then you are going to do extortion from that candidate. We have the picture, you see, I voted for you. You see, I don't support that, and I support IBC 100%. Go with your phone inside the. I think phone is very important when the counting is being done, and I don't think there is touched. Record the counting, record the announcement of counting of the counts at the polling station. That one is allowed, and that one I support. And if they reach there, I will talk about it. But going to take a picture and share it with 20 people who have not voted for the same candidate, going to pick money from another candidate, that one I oppose. Not because I'm defending any candidate, but I know our times with our technology, we also have our challenges, and those challenges must be addressed properly. The problem, we don't go to with the phones at exam rooms. A clever student will they will write the answers and will take a picture and will share it with somebody, and that thing will be shared when you have phones at the exams room. We may have such characters when you take that screenshot, because the candidate may be far. It's just being forwarded that thing. I voted for you. You share it. I went take a picture. You know it will not get taken anywhere. They will switch off the location and the time. Yeah, I send it to you. You send it to the candidate. He send you 10,000. I send him to another person. Send him 10,000. At the end of the day, that guy realized that he had one vote in that polling station. Those are the things that also we go to court. So with the God of Maraga and the Constitution, extortion and bribery is also not accepted during the voting. And I think I made myself very clear on that. And I support IBC 100% on that. Makubura.
Okay, thank you. Your last remarks, Eric, kindly. Thank you.
My last remarks, I wish I meet my friend Joseph. You know, he told me he's from Berry. You know, when I told them that Wamudende will win, they say that was a rude shock, and maybe it was like something, it was state rigged or whatever. Now we had two by-election there that were taking place today. I hope we are now going to, I will be start coming. You know, me, if I give people time, I give them time. That the UDA now has won them with a landslide now, not 2000 that Wamudende won with a landslide. And I want to tell them that politics is strategy, is not noise. Politics is how you talk to people, persuasion. You know, we have a generation that you can disagree with them in 2 minutes and you persuade them in 2 minutes and they die for you. That is also another thing that people do not know with this generation. You know, in our generation, the people who are a little bit older than us could hold grudges even for 40 years. When they are told Ayaga is bad, they can hate Ayaga for about 40, 50 years. But we have another new generation that is coming after us. Sorry for that. That are coming after us. This generation, you can hit them hard in the morning, and by the evening, they can hit somebody for you in the evening. It depends on how you persuade them in a short time possible. So I want to tell the people who are still clinging on the 2024 last year but one 2024 things, it may not work against the person you intend for that thing to work against unless you create your own momentum. Momentum dies. Even this one for Sephona, it may die soon. Because, you know, these people, they get agile when things are new. Even Rigiji used to have a lot of attention. But nowadays, people who, you know, that's how this generation. And you must study them. And I'm asking politicians to study this generation. Because Ruto is also clever. And he also have a good advisors. And he knows that the generation we are dealing with, he can romance them towards where we are going. And I tell you, the tables will turn. If the opposition is not organized, the way they are not organized, they are still campaigning as if they are campaigning for the kids who are born in the 80s. The people who could hold a grudge for 40, 50 years because they are told somebody is bad, they will see fire. And I think the by-election in Mbeere, now two of them, the MP and these two MCAs, have proved me wrong that I was saying the truth when I say the UDA will win. Now that tells you one thing. The election we are going to, number one, is not for emotions. The people who want to manipulate people with emotions to win, as usual, are at age. They will lose the election terribly. They will lose the election terribly. The election we are heading to is for smart people. It is to persuade people. It is to listen to people. That's why nowadays, even me, I used not to listen to people. If I disagree with you, I could have behaved like my brother Musimamo, and nowadays is behaving like what I used to do in 2019. But now that I've grown old enough, I listen. Even if you are my enemy in politics, I listen to you, because there is something maybe that you are saying that the crowd is making crowds happy. So I wish we have a political tolerance. We do a good campaigns. That such indisciplines that we saw in Kisumu, Simamo brought me to the attention of that. I didn't want to speak about it because the Makamu has been dealt with, and Wanga will be soon dealt with. You can't block people to go and campaign anywhere. Let people have free to campaign. And I also think the digital space is a little bit, you know, in US we don't see this big rally. That country is so big, 51 states is so big, but most of the campaigns are being done on a digital space. And I think the Kenyans, for the safety of our lives, they stampede on the rallies. The Goonism that are now being brought to beat people vulnerable are being killed. Let us stop going to those rallies and let us listen to them when we are in a safe room or a safe places in our houses, and analyze the election in our comfort so that we don't lose young people. A friend of mine, I am told, was killed because of the Jalango things, and I'm still at pain for his death because of 500. So I think I'm urging youths, those who are strong enough to want to go and fight, like like my brother Musimamu who have wenye wametangaza vita, wacha waendelee wapigane, lakini wale ambao hawataki vita kama sisi na tunapenda maisha yetu, watupaku kwa mtandao na tuwanyoroshe kisiasa, na mimi nirende nilale safe na yeye pia aende alale safe. Hakuna mawe imepiga mtu, hakuna chupa imepiga mtu, na hakuna mtu amenisukuma, na hakuna mtu nimeimbia. Kama sikutaki, sikutaki. Kama nakupenda, nakupenda, na bado nitakushabikia. I think I will rest my case there tonight. But tomorrow, I will tell the united opposition, these by-elections are like cats, what we used to do called cats. My friend, I can't beat you in all cats. And when national exam comes, you think you will beat me. Never. If I beat you in continuous assessment test from January to October, I was sure with you 100%, even if that national exam comes, bado nitakuosha. Na huko ndio tunaendelea. They brought analogy of exams, kuchunga mtihani, na mimi pia nimewaambia analogy of exams. If you can't win a cat, and you have a day dreaming of winning a national election, maybe truly, if the system is on your side. If not, thank you very much, Makubura.
Okay, thank you so much, good friend Eric, for finding time, of course, to come and give us your take. We really appreciate. And so allow me to acknowledge everyone who joined us today. Gudia, Shaima, Laban, Simamu, Migoda, Benson, just everyone who joined us. We really appreciate. I just want to remind you that this is Brother Benson Media. Allow me to acknowledge Charles, Lane, Donald, Dede, Eric. We really appreciate your presence and, of course, your consistent support. And this is Brother Benson Media. Over here, we do say that your opinion counts. And if you are watching for the first time, we request that you kindly like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. I would like to just finish or end the show at this particular moment. And before I do so, allow me to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, blessed morning, blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us. We really appreciate, and we hope that you'll join us again tomorrow. May God bless you and see you again tomorrow. Thank you and bye-bye for today.